Hey, it's your girl Deya Direct. I'm literally stuck in traffic and it is crowded in Dallas. Things have really started to change. It's your girl Deya Direct, the man whisperer, author of Soft is the New Power. You probably hear the cars in the background. I try and quiet it down a little bit. And I just got off a fantastic Periscope. Every Friday I'm doing a Periscope with the Single Wives Club, which is an organization of women who are really working together to build their muscle in every area of their life. They're working to be prepared to be wives, but in the meantime they are getting that money. They are working on their careers. They are working on their personal, emotional, spiritual growth in every area. And so we just had a really good Periscope, and we were talking about this whole concept about who's your daddy and why do men want women to call them daddy. And it was good. And for many years I was really irritated by the idea of calling a man daddy. Like, I just didn't get it. But I got some revelation on it, and it is really interesting. But today, I don't want to talk to you about that because I just got finished talking about that. After I finished that call, I was just thinking about the muscle that we have as women in our mouths and how we use it. And when you think about the differences between men and women, men have the physical power, and they don't really have the capacity in many cases because they're not socialized in this way, but also some of it is their makeup, to really verbally spar with a woman. They can physically overpower us, but we can verbally run circles around men. And a lot of times that's why they shut down, because they can't even begin to try to win. After a while, it's like, never mind. And so it got me to thinking about all the stuff that I've been talking about with my new book, which is Soft is the New Power, Embracing Your Feminine Edge to Win in Love and Life. And the way that I open up the book is I'm talking about how we building a muscle takes time, how it requires us to push ourselves outside of our comfort zone. And the stronger a muscle gets, the more power it has. And so as women of power, as women who aspire, as working women, we have really been building our muscles in the workforce. And some of the things that our foremothers have done in terms of being the woman of the house and using their femininity to not only take care of their home but their man, we've lost a lot of that. And in the process of all of our getting, we've lost softness. I'm definitely not suggesting that we stay home barefoot and pregnant, because child, that is not what I'm going to do. Okay. However, sometimes in the getting of one thing, you lose another. And we may have more money to dress and get our hair done and put on our lipstick, but sometimes that's the only thing that's feminine about us. And we are more masculine in our energy than men. We say we want to be treated like a queen, but we act like the king. And we are so ballsy and so bossy and so, big and bad with it, that we really don't give ourselves permission. Sometimes by default, because we've been hurt and disappointed and frustrated. We don't give ourselves permission to let our guard down. And it's self-protection, it's fear, it's frustration, it's habit. I get all of that, and I've lived all of that. And because I've lived all of that, I am committed to making my pain pay me back, which is why in my own patterns of failed relationships, I had to get quiet and study myself, learn myself, look at my patterns and my whys and my daddy issues, and not only with my actual father, but also how that impacted what I thought and felt about God, that we've always been taught is a male image, and how that made it kind of difficult for me to trust God, because, a male figure taking care of me and making things work out is just not my story traditionally. So, having said all that, the one, I told you in the beginning that my name is Deya Direct. Well, I was given that name by a man because I was always known for verbally sparring, or as I would say, I really enjoy mental masturbation. I just like talking trash for fun. I like to have a good time. I'm silly, and I like to get a good jab in. And I'm a producer, a full-time producer for a living. So asking questions and getting people's attention and being controversial for the story, I know how to do all that. And I know how to, talk somebody down, all the way down to the lowest common denominator. Like, if I want to make you feel bad, by the time I'm done, you won't feel bad. At the same time, if I want to make you feel good and encourage you and uplift you, I have the power to do that also. And I do. And so literally what's crazy about it is that in the mouth, literally are life and death. The power of the tongue is like no joke. That's why in the Bible it talks about the tongue being like the smallest thing, but the most powerful and hardest thing to tame. The tongue is no joke. So why am I talking to you about that? Because my topic is the muscle of the mouth. How strong is your mouth muscle? And how are you using that muscle? Are you using it for good, or are you using it for bad? Do you understand the power that you possess in your mouth? And what are you doing with it? Now, don't take it nasty. We could get nasty, but I ain't going nasty with you. This is not that right now. What I want to say, and I'm going to say it as quickly as possible, is that as women who want to be in relationships, be in healthy relationships, one of the number one things that will put you in a position to change a man's life is by knowing how to use your mouth muscle to speak life into him as opposed to tearing him down. Men respond to stimuli just like everybody else. Men don't talk about their emotions, but they still feel. They're human beings. They have blood in their bodies. They're not socialized like we are to tell you how I feel every 5 seconds. That's not how they get down. But they internalize it, and by the time you find out how he really feels, it's usually not a good look if it's a negative thing. So what I want to say to you, and as a reminder to myself as we talk about soft power, is we have to be intentional about what we say and speak, and understanding how the mouth and the muscle of the mouth, how much power it has and what it's saying. So when you say things like, I don't need a man, when you say something like, you acting like a little boy, you're emasculating a guy. You're letting him know that there is no room in your life for him. And that's very powerful. And your words will literally transform how he responds to you. Every place from the initial meeting to if you're already in a relationship. And ultimately, he's going to go someplace where he is made to feel good, or where he don't have to hear nothing at all. Because your mouth and the muscle in your mouth is so doggone strong, he just want peace. So when you hear men talk about on Father's Day that they just want peace, that should be an indication to you. If your man only wants peace and quiet for Father's Day, that means that the way that you're using your mouth is not affirming. Hello? Are you there? Oh, you don't like that part, huh? Yeah. If your man is always seeking to get away and he wants peace and quiet, that means that the noise that he's getting in his home, in his life, in his engagement with you, when he's around you, is not affirming. and but he need to, and you nagging him like you're his mama. Child, just like you don't want a man to act like your daddy or your father or act like your parent. A dude needs to be a king, and since you know you want to be treated like a queen needs her king. And if he can't be the king in your house because you're the king, because you done took up all the room, you done took up all the room in the closet, you done took up all the airspace with your mouth and your energy, and he's like a shrinking violet, then his home is not his castle. And what you may not realize is you may not be his queen, because you got the crown and the balls. So, like I said, I'm gonna keep it short, but I want you to think about how you want to use your mouth. When you work out, you can retrain your body. You can retrain your muscles. You can trick your muscles so that when you're trying to build muscle in a different area, as uncomfortable as it may be, that's the area where you need growth. So in your case, building your mouth muscle might be keeping it closed, as opposed to always using it to go to speak. I'm about to have an accident talking to y'all. You might have to retrain your mouth to be quiet, to be still, as opposed to always opening up. It's a different muscle. It might be uncomfortable. You might have plenty to say. But if your ultimate goal is to make sure your words are doing what you want them to do, then you need to be intentional about how you use them. So, work on your mouth muscle and understand that sometimes working that muscle means not working it at all. That means keeping it quiet. That means a day of rest. Just like when you go to the gym, after you work on your muscle, then you need a day of rest because your muscle is overworked. And then if you work the front part of your body, then you also need to work the back part. So if you got the talking all the time part on lock, you need to work on your back end, on the quiet part, so that you can balance that thing out. I'm not saying you don't have a voice, you don't have anything to say. I'm saying, what are you saying? And what is it accomplishing? Big picture. It's your girl, Deya Direct. I'm your man whisperer. I hope that I use my mouth today to speak some life into you, to help you in your relationship, to let you know that you do not have to fill the air with space during every quiet moment on earth. Literally, you do not have to. Okay? I love you. I'm coming from a place of love. I hope this helped you. Follow me at deyadirect.net. I'm Deya Direct on all social media. And the new book is Soft is the New Power. Embracing your feminine edge to win in love and in life. It's available right now for you in ebook form and hard copy on Amazon. See you on the other side.